Now, California governor and MAGA arch enemy Gavin Newsom, and very handsome Gavin Newsom, is ringing alarm bells about Trump's plan to send federal election monitors to California on Election Day. Let's watch this clip.
I really am scared to death about what's going on in this country. I really believe it is code red. It's 5 alarm fires. We won't have a country. We won't have an election that's fair and free if we don't stand up. We won't. There will not be a fair and free election. It will be a Putin election. Was it 87% or is it 87.3%? That's what Trump wants.
Well, he's worried. He's worried. And are you as worried about it as he is? Or is he just going to make more Americans distrust the election process, like Trump has been doing since he lost in 2020?
I think more likely than fraud will be disincentivizing voting in a democracy, which is the currency of a democracy. But right now, in 2024, we had 65% of the population that showed up at the polls, which is actually pretty good for this country because in the midterms, which can right now be very important, only 47% of Americans show up at the polls. People fought hard for those rights to vote, and we already don't have people showing up at our polls. We don't need to plant seeds. You always go out, you always vote. Let the rest be determined as it plays out, because when fraud was claimed last time, not one judge in this country saw any proof of any fraud. So by planting these seeds, you're already taking a public that's lost trust in everything and saying your vote doesn't matter. That's the fastest way to affect an election.
I see it differently because I think sunlight is the best disinfectant. I think that you need to speak truth to power and you need to expose what may be going on. And, up to the election, Project 2025 was written. There was a game plan. And we kept on sounding the alarm. There's a game plan. There's a game plan. It's in writing. It's 90 pages. There's a Cliff Notes version. No one listened to that. You know what's happened since Trump was elected? Some of the policies outlined in Project 2025 are happening right now. Reshaping the federal bureaucracy, reducing the size and influence, and empowering the executive branch, aggressively militarizing an approach to immigration, the use of active duty military personnel and National Guardsmen to assist in border security, a return to a more isolationist foreign policy, dismantling the Department of Education. It goes on and on and on. Everything he promised he would do, he did. And so when Gavin Newsom is saying, I am concerned about this, I think we need to listen. That's the problem with this country. We don't want to say the quiet part out loud. We don't want to challenge authority. We don't want to challenge authoritarianism. Silence, there's no place for silence when the democracy is under attack.
I just want to say one thing. I don't think Gavin Newsom would be saying this if Donald Trump hadn't thrown in the gauntlet in the first place. It's not like he's doing it
but now it's becoming in vogue for every candidate to say it's probably rigged.
Yeah, but who started this?
But it doesn't matter. You don't win a bad idea with a bad idea. The point is, the only power a regular American person has is to go to the polls. They can keep their eyes open and see problems and be alert and educated and vote at the same time.
Why is Trump sending in election monitors to California? Why is Trump sending people there?
But I think it's one thing for pundits and for spectators to say, I'm concerned that there will be free and fair elections again. I think it is wholly irresponsible for the governor of the most populous state, who, by the way, oversees elections in his own state. He oversees the cybersecurity infrastructure. He oversees the Secretary of State, down to poll watchers, to election workers. Gavin Newsom has a lot of power in this.
Why are there federal monitors, though?
He could at minimum say, I can promise you California will have a free and fair election, and I'll work with every governor to make sure that there's no efforts to undermine them. But that's not what he's doing.
How does he do that when Donald Trump is sending federal monitors into his state?
Because he's the chief executive of the state. Monitors, we need to know what that means. I do think it's...
Looking at what Governor California was saying, Governor Gavin Newsom, he was talking about the ringing alarm bell about President Donald Trump plan to send federal election monitor to California on election day. So he was saying that the women in the View were saying that everybody should be aware of that, because he cannot just be saying that for nothing. That the American people, when they are warning them about something, they don't pay attention. These are all of them, the women in the View. They came out talking about Project 2025, about that Donald Trump was going to do everything that he said on Project 2025, and the American people did not listen. On that Project 2025, he talks about the immigrant deportation, heavy deportation of immigrants, massive deportation, which they are doing now. He talks about the health shutting down, reducing the health care, which they are trying to do now. It has caused shutdown. It talks about all the things that is happening now. President Donald Trump is doing it, and those were the things that he was against it, that he was refusing, that they were lying on him, that he was not going to do that. So for the governors, we're seeing that they should pay attention. They should not allow it, because people really fought for a right for election. After they fight for election, they should have that vote willfully. You have Anna. Anna said she didn't expect that such a thing will happen in the United States because where she's coming from, there's a lot of foreign land. And that's why her family ran away from such a crisis. It's ironic that she comes to a country that she's thinking that she will get protected, but instead, the president of that country is not paying her any attention. It's not paying attention to any citizen. They are doing like the oppressor where she comes from. So she don't understand what is happening. So what do you think? You see even the women right for women body, they have passed and make abortion is illegal. Women fertility, they cannot do in vitro, all those type of things like that. Things that venereal disease if a woman have. All those checkups, they've limiting women on their own body right. And those were things that were being said during that Project 2025. So Project 2025 was very cruel. The women in the View, they came here and they were saying it. American people, listen. If you vote for him, he's going to practice Project 25 on your body. Do not vote for him. Do not vote. Whoopi cry out. They cry out, both of them. They join as a voice. But the American people do not listen to them. So let them listen to what Governor Gavin Newsom is going to say. If they don't, then they are going to regret. The American is going to be one person power, that the Republican will have all the power. They will do what they want to do. Which a nation like this don't have to be like that. It's a land of freedom. Everyone have to abide and follow the rules and regulation. What do you think about what is happening? Do you think that the people are going to listen to what the women in the views are saying? Let me see your opinion in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please help us subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.